Do you ever feel like you're running on fumes, but no amount of sleep or coffee can touch that deep, bone-deep exhaustion? It's that feeling of being completely depleted, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, too. It's the sensation of pushing a boulder uphill every single day, only to wake up the next morning and find it right back at the bottom. You feel disconnected, foggy, and irritable, like you're watching your own life from behind a thick pane of glass. What if I told you that this state, this chronic burnout, isn't just a matter of being too tired? That it's not a personal failing, a lack of discipline, or something you can fix with just one more vacation or a more positive mindset? While the World Health Organization defines burnout as an occupational phenomenon, not a medical condition, a growing body of scientific understanding reveals there's a major physical component at play. It's often linked to a biological state of persistent, low-grade inflammation, particularly in the brain. This inflammatory storm is a key player in driving that profound exhaustion, that brain fog, and that feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed. This isn't a new age theory. This is based on our understanding of how the nervous system, the immune system, and stress are all tangled together. The problem isn't just in your head, it's in your physiology. And if the problem is physiological, that means the solution can be, too. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple, 5-minute technique to help flip the off switch on this stress response. This isn't a meditation or a typical breathing exercise. It is a direct, physical technique to release the anatomical tension that can keep your body stuck in a state of emergency. It's a way to help your body's own anti-inflammatory system do its job, and you can do it right now, with your own 2 hands. Let's start by dismantling the biggest myth about burnout. We use the word burnout casually for feeling overworked, but true, chronic burnout is a different beast entirely. It's a state of profound dysregulation. Think about the pleasant tiredness after a great workout versus the grinding, soul-crushing exhaustion of burnout. The first is a sign of healthy exertion. The second is a sign of systemic breakdown. This breakdown is what scientists call a high allostatic load. Think of your body as having a stress budget. Every day, you make withdrawals for work deadlines, traffic, family arguments, and even things like a poor diet or lack of sleep. Your body handles these by releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, putting you into fight or flight mode. That's your sympathetic nervous system, the body's gas pedal. It's incredibly useful for getting out of immediate danger. But what happens when the stress is chronic and relentless? You never stop pressing the gas pedal. Your stress budget goes into overdraft, day after day. This is that classic wired but tired state. You're exhausted, but you can't sleep. You're running on fumes, but you feel anxious and on edge. This is where the fire starts. This constant state of alarm can trigger your immune system to release inflammatory messengers called cytokines, specifically molecules like TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6. In a healthy response, these cytokines are like first responders to an injury, creating localized inflammation to heal. But in a state of chronic burnout, your nervous system can send out false alarms. With no real physical injury to fight, these inflammatory cytokines circulate throughout your body. Some can even cross the blood-brain barrier and contribute to neuroinflammation, a low-grade, smoldering fire in your brain. This is physiology. And this neuroinflammation is strongly associated with the most debilitating symptoms of burnout. The brain fog you feel? That's linked to inflammation disrupting neural communication. The inability to focus? That's your hippocampus, the brain's memory center, being impacted by cytokines. The lack of motivation and inability to feel pleasure? That's connected to inflammation interfering with your dopamine pathways. The muscle aches and headaches? That's systemic inflammation. You are not lazy or broken. You are not undisciplined. Your body's alarm system is stuck in the on position, and it's this biological reality we need to address. Trying to push through burnout is like trying to put out a house fire with a squirt gun. You have to address the systems that are feeding the flames. To do that, we need to meet the master controller. If the sympathetic nervous system is your body's gas pedal, then you have to have a break. And you do. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest, digest, and repair. And the main channel for this entire system is one extraordinary nerve, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, and its name comes from the Latin word for wandering, which is a perfect description. It's the longest cranial nerve, wandering from your brainstem down through your neck and into your chest and abdomen, connecting with nearly every major organ. It's a massive, two-way information superhighway. About 80% of its fibers send information from your body to your brain, which is why you get butterflies in your stomach or have a gut feeling. But its most crucial role for us today is acting as the master controller for inflammation. This is a well-established mechanism known as the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway, or CAP. When the vagus nerve is activated, when it has a strong, healthy signal, or high vagal tone, it acts like the body's chief firefighter. Here's how it works. Your brain, via the vagus nerve, sends a signal to immune hubs like your spleen. This signal releases a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. This acetylcholine then binds to your immune cells and gives a direct command: stand down. Stop producing those inflammatory cytokines. It literally interrupts the production of TNF-alpha and other inflammatory molecules at the source. This pathway is so powerful that implanted vagus nerve stimulation, VNS, devices are FDA approved for conditions like drug-resistant epilepsy and depression. As of early 2026, a VNS device has also been approved for treating rheumatoid arthritis after successful clinical trials, with further studies on its potential for Crohn's disease underway. The science is clear. Activating the vagus nerve can instruct your body to dial down inflammation. We can measure the health of our vagus nerve with something called heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV isn't your heart rate, it's the tiny variations in time between each heartbeat. A high HRV means your parasympathetic nervous system, your vagal brake pedal, is strong and responsive. Conversely, a low HRV is a hallmark of a system stuck in stress mode and is consistently associated with higher levels of inflammation. So, the big question is, if we have this incredible, built-in anti-inflammatory system, why isn't it working for so many of us? Why does our vagus nerve seem to be offline when we're burned out? For many, the answer may lie in a physical, mechanical problem. To understand why your vagal brake pedal might not be working, we need to look at a compelling biomechanical theory. It starts with the physical journey the vagus nerve takes the moment it leaves your brain. It emerges from the brainstem and passes through a small, crowded opening at the base of your skull called the jugular foramen. Surrounding this critical junction is a group of small but powerful muscles called the suboccipitals. Their job is to perform the fine movements of your head, like nodding and tilting. Now, think about modern life. We spend hours a day with our heads jutting forward, looking down at screens. This tech neck posture creates a massive amount of chronic strain on the back of the neck. Your suboccipital muscles, trying to keep your head from falling forward, can become chronically tight and overworked. Here's where the theory gets interesting. Researchers have identified tiny connective tissue attachments called myodural bridges that literally link these suboccipital muscles directly to the dura mater, the tough sheath that surrounds your brain and spinal cord. The hypothesis is that when these muscles are chronically tight, they might physically pull on this dural sheath. This tension could create mechanical stress around the jugular foramen, where the vagus nerve exits. It's like having a kink in a garden hose. The nerve signal might be fine at the source, but the flow could be choked off downstream. This mechanical impedance might reduce the vagal signal strength. This could create a devastating vicious cycle. 1. Stress leads to forward head posture and tight neck muscles. 2. This tension, according to the theory, creates compression that may choke the vagus nerve signal. 3. A weakened vagal signal means the brake pedal is less effective, and the fight or flight system stays dominant. 4. With the vagal brake offline, the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway isn't properly activated, and inflammation can run unchecked. 5. This inflammation makes you feel more stressed and exhausted, causing more tension in your neck, and the cycle repeats. You feel stuck. Physically stuck. And no amount of positive thinking can release a physically tense area. To break this potential cycle, we have to go to the source. We have to manually, mechanically, invite release at this critical junction to create slack in the system and allow that vagal signal to flow freely again. Alright, this is where we get practical. This technique designed to create a structural decompression at the base of your skull, releasing the suboccipital muscles and creating space in that area. It's gentle, it's precise, and it taps into your body's own reflexes. Find a comfortable position, either lying on your back with your knees bent, which is ideal, or sitting upright in a chair. The most important thing is that your head and neck can be relaxed and neutral. First, a quick before snapshot. Just notice. How's your breath? Is it shallow and high in your chest? Notice the tension in your jaw, your shoulders, the back of your neck. How does your mind feel? Busy, foggy, clear? Just observe. Okay, let's begin. Preparation. Finding your landmarks, take the fingers of both hands and find the bony ridge at the base of your skull. This is your occiput. Slide your fingers out to the sides, just behind your earlobes, and you'll feel a bony lump on each side, your mastoid process. The area we're interested in is the soft, muscular space right between that bony ridge and the top of your neck. That's the suboccipital region. It probably feels tight and tender. That's what we're about to release. Step 1. The foundational chin tuck gently, without force. Tuck your chin slightly as if making a double chin. Don't bring your chin to your chest. Instead, imagine a string pulling the back of your head up and back, lengthening your neck. You should feel a gentle stretch in those suboccipital muscles. Hold this neutral, lengthened position. This action alone creates a little slack in the system. Step 2. The eye lateralization trigger. Now, going to use your eyes as a remote control for the deep muscles in your neck. This works because of a powerful neurological link called the vestibulo-ocular reflex, where your eye movements are hardwired to the tiny muscles that stabilize your upper neck. Keeping your head perfectly still in that gentle chin tuck, dart your eyes as far as you can to the right. Don't strain, just look. Hold them there for 5 seconds. Now bring them back to center. Now, dart your eyes as far as you can to the left. Head still. Hold for 5 seconds. Back to center. You may have felt subtle engagement or stretch in the muscles on the opposite side of your neck from where you were looking. You just used your eyes to encourage a reflexive release in the exact muscles we need to relax. Step 3. The ear-occiput lift and decompression. This is the core mechanical release. Let's start with the right side. Take your left hand and place your fingertips at the base of your skull on the right side, in that tender suboccipital area. This is your anchor. Now, take your right hand and place the soft pads of your fingertips right behind your right ear, on that mastoid process. Here's the motion. With your left hand as an anchor, your right hand will apply a very gentle traction. Gently pull your head away from your right shoulder, as if you're trying to lift your ear up and away from your neck. The motion is incredibly subtle. It is not a big stretch. It's a tiny, gentle lift creating space. Now, combine it with the eye movement. While applying this gentle lift, dart your eyes to the left. Hold that position, the gentle lift in the eye gaze, for about 10 seconds. Breathe. You're looking for a feeling of melting or letting go. After 10 seconds, gently release the lift and bring your eyes back to center. Let's do the other side. Right hand as an anchor at the base of your skull on the left. Left hand fingertips behind your left ear. Apply that same gentle lift, creating space. Now, dart your eyes all the way to the right. Hold. Breathe into that space. Feel for that subtle release. Hold for 10 seconds. Then gently release. Step 4, the bilateral reset and integration. Now we put it all together. We'll alternate sides for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Right hand behind right ear, left hand anchoring. Gentle lift. Eyes to the left. Hold and breathe for 10 to 15 seconds. Release. Pause. Left hand behind left ear, right hand anchoring. Gentle lift. Eyes to the right. Hold and breathe for 10 to 15 seconds. Release. As you do this, maintain that initial chin tuck. You can even add a very subtle, slow nod, as if saying yes in slow motion while you hold the lift. This can help further decompress the joints. Continue alternating sides, slowly and mindfully. This isn't about forcing, it's about inviting release. Listen to your body. Breathe into the tension. Imagine it softening and creating space. Do 3 to 5 rounds on each side. Step 5, the verification and check-in. After your final round, release your hands and close your eyes. This is your after snapshot. What do you notice? Is your breath deeper, easier? Has it dropped from your chest into your belly? This is a primary sign of a shift into a more relaxed, parasympathetic state. Notice the tension in your jaw and shoulders. Is there more softness? Notice the feeling in your head. You might feel warmth at the base of your skull, a sign of blood vessels relaxing. You might feel a sense of clarity, like a fog has lifted. Or you might simply feel calmer and more grounded. This immediate feeling of calm is the first ripple, the signal that you've gotten your foot off the gas pedal, even just for a moment. What you've just done is more than a simple neck stretch. You've used a targeted technique to send a powerful signal of safety to your nervous system. By mechanically releasing chronic muscle tension, you've created physical space, and that does a few things. First, you've told your brainstem that the perceived threat is gone. This allows for an immediate shift from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest. That feeling of a deeper exhale and calm, that's your vagal brake pedal beginning to engage. Second, releasing compression in this area may also support better fluid dynamics, like lymphatic drainage and blood flow. This could be like opening the windows in a stuffy room, helping clear out metabolic waste products and reducing that feeling of brain fog over time. Third, and most importantly, you've created the conditions for your cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway to work more effectively. By helping to clear the pathway for a stronger signal down the vagus nerve, you are empowering your body's own ability to regulate inflammation. Let's be clear, this 5-minute technique won't instantly cure systemic inflammation. The measurable benefits on inflammatory markers build gradually over weeks and months of consistent stimulation. Think of it like this: your house's sprinkler system has had a kink in its supply line for a long time. With this reset, you've just unkinked the hose. The fire won't go out instantly, but you've finally restored flow to the system that will begin to extinguish it. The immediate calm you feel is the sound of the water starting to flow. The real change comes from keeping that system online. This is why consistency is everything. The real hack is integrating this into your life. Try performing the reset twice a day, once in the morning to start your day regulated, and once in the evening to help transition into sleep. You can even use micro doses throughout the day. At your desk, feel that tension building? Just do the gentle chin tuck. Do a few rounds of eye movements. You are retraining your nervous system, moment by moment, to choose regulation over reaction. So, let's bring this all home. The profound exhaustion of chronic burnout is not just a personal failure. It has a real physiological component, strongly linked to a nervous system stuck in overdrive and a body simmering with inflammation. That wired but tired feeling is the signature of a vagal brake pedal that can be thrown off by chronic stress and, for many of us, by physical tension at the base of the skull. But you are not powerless. Your system is just stuck. And today, you've learned a direct, physical tool to help get it unstuck. This Occiput reset is a structural intervention designed to restore function and signal safety to one of the most important nerves in your body. It is a tool to reactivate your own powerful, built-in anti-inflammatory pathway. The power is, quite literally, in your hands. And now, a request. If you followed along, go to the comments right now and tell me what you feel. Be specific. Did you notice a change in your breathing? A sense of warmth? Did the fog lift a little? Sharing your experience helps you and can inspire someone else to find relief. And of course, if this was valuable, and you want more science-backed strategies to regulate your nervous system and reclaim your energy, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Thank you for your time. This isn't a quick fix, but it is a real start. It's a powerful first step to putting out the fire and showing your body what it feels like to be safe, calm, and truly at rest once again.